Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cockings.
And here's Captain Foley.
And even though we are Captain and Commander, bridge officers, we're here today to talk about lower decks. We're talking about Season 3, Episode 4, Room for Growth.
And do you know how I keep sending you memos that we shouldn't cram 175 people into 6 rooms? This episode addresses that slightly, and yet you won't change.
Got limited space. What can I say? I do what I can.
I mean, you need those 5 book rooms for Sherlock Holmes novels and the 2 hat rooms and the... So what do you think of Season 3, Episode 4 of Holodeck?
Oh, wow. It's continuing the trend of Season 3 for me, of just kind of being meh. It was okay. It wasn't Musaka's mask. It was Minuki's. They do talk about the Hare archives or whatever, archiving this stuff. But I expected that to be a little bit more of a thing. It was just a throwaway one. And then the 2 stories with the relaxation and the trying to get the room, they were very missed for me. It was just felt like an episode. Had one fantastic moment. Do you know what that is?
No, actually. What?
Oh, Tendi and Mariner saving.
Ah, yes. Very brave of them. Very brave.
Yes, absolutely. Very brave. And very, very good, even when they're not good. But it's just not firing on all the cylinders that Season 1 and 2 were. So that's kind of where I am with this one. It's kind of middle of the road again. How about you?
So I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I think for some reason my brain clocked in very early that it'll be a very Lukey episode. So I didn't expect anything grand to happen. And so I just really enjoyed the ride. And seeing a very Lower Decksian... you can't get more Lower Decks than an entire plot about getting a better room. But you know what I mean?
Through maintenance shafts.
Yeah, exactly. It's so basic that I enjoyed it for what it is. And the relaxation thing, I was kind of waiting for the twists. And there was sort of twists. It again was a different side of everything we've seen, so I liked what it was trying to do because it was trying to sort of take a day off. But yeah, a day off from more Loki episodes. Although last week they were fighting Nightmare Fuel, so it's not really but I did enjoy it. I liked seeing the main 3 back together, or at least the 2 and then Tendi back together, which was nice. I really liked seeing what the 3 of us had to offer in terms of internal space. Not the same stuff, but I liked their justification for the weird rooms. I thought that was nice. The deflector obviously was a standout. I got very much Into Darkness engineering vibes. But then when they reveal what it is, it's like, oh, that's really cool. We've never seen, as far as I can remember, the inside of a deflector dish. That was great. Really kind of gave you a sense of scale that you don't normally have. Because obviously, if you're looking at space shots, it's a relatively small part of the interior or the overall hull. But no, it's still giant. Just because their corridors are tiny and claustrophobic, the tech's pretty big. And finally addressing the fact that it's cramped and it's annoying, but also the camaraderie there. There's a lot of things that it was addressing some of its own internal logic internally, and I liked that as a meta sort of episode. Yeah. So I liked it on those grounds.
And one thing I did enjoy was the fact there's more Kayshawn this time, and more of the sayings, the Temerian sayings, which was kind of cool. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I liked this episode. It's not one I would seek out to rewatch because it just was kind of for me. But I don't know. What was your favorite part of the episode?
I mean, just the idea of seeing the Cerritos in a new way. Living with a a very, very inner characterful perspective. Each time they went to a new bit, there was a reason for it directly with the character, which led to a slight growth of them. Shax and Tiana, is her name? Evolving them with a scene that's fun, that's referential to old TNG, but also not. The plant with Kayshawn was cute, and they didn't take the position too far. It was fun, not over the top. Like I say, it was a good vibe that almost didn't go far enough, but yet kind of did. And the beta shift stuff. Continuing from other seasons, it felt very much like a continuation of previous. Like we can take a break and embrace our own lore more, which was nice. And I was kind of waiting for a Galaxy Quest reference for like the Chompers, Like finding, they said, well, we've been through some refits, there's unnecessary rooms, open door, and there's going, thump, thump, thump. What's that? Oh, it's the chompers. Close. I was waiting for that kind of joke, because it kind of felt like they were going there. But I mean, hallucinogenic plants is pretty close.
Yeah, well, she did say there might be an incinerator down there, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't feel any heat, because there's kind of like the flames at the end of the chompers, right? So.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of that, which I liked vibe-wise. And also the note at the end, the sort of catharsis moment of, well, I'm going to get kicked out of Starfleet. She knows that. He's going to die. and Tendy's going to be someone important. That was a really fun... Again, the show's knowing exactly what it's trying to say, and the fact they can say it in such a nice way. The fact that Boimler, smiles at, yeah. And Bold Boimler from last week, or week before, sorry. It all kind of tied in super nicely. And while never reaching much of a pace, I sensed the slow pace going in, which I liked. And yes, the relaxation story could have gone further. Although, I love the gag of the Klingons' relaxation is throwing knives, and then they can't deal with him. He's gone an hour over because he's got too relaxed in aggression. I thought that was fun. They could have gone a little bit further with that stuff, but then I liked the gag of they invented the best device ever, which they have for trash because it's too good. That's all good stuff. It's all smart, interesting stuff.
The Bonnie and Clyde holodeck program I thought was cool, with being in black and white, Tiana and Shax, and their whole argument and the weird kinkiness. Calls her Diane as a kinky sex name. It was fun. It was fun to see.
And something as simple as, and this is what I mean about it's a normal scene, but you add real emotional character. He says, "I died. We didn't even discuss it." That's such a good line. That's such a that recontextualizes 2 seasons of development. That's super interesting. So I liked. I thought it was very efficiently written, if not going too far out of the box.
And the whole disengage safety protocols, because she's the doctor, so if something happens, I guess she's fine with it. Or she's just... I did like the bullet, though, pausing, and then him, and it was hot still. That was cool.
Not sure she could have healed thy brain wound. So, ostensibly, Strax just saved Boimler's life. No, we didn't get a line, which I kind of wish we had of them, you're not meant to just be able to open source a holodeck program. That said, they do in TNG. Would have been kind of nice if they'd made one more line about this goes against, holodeck protocol 7. Don't be a peeping Tom, in essence. But they do it in TNG often, so I'm not going to complain. Just, if they upgraded that subroutine.
The beta shifters they were kind of cool.
Almost cliche. Almost cliche.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It was the whole twist of at the end there too, with it's not 4 rooms on deck 1, it's 1 room on deck 4. Kind of love that. And the fact they didn't even think to all share the room.
Which I sort of in my brain I called, because deck 1 is the bridge. There isn't any rooms on deck 1. The very concept of it is there's one there's the briefing room and such. There isn't any quarters on deck 1, there shouldn't be. So they didn't even clock that because they're not upper deckers. I thought that was a fun... Yeah, that was a nice little gentle twist of, guys, it's deck 1. Oh, penthouse suite. That was fun. Even the captain's quarters are on deck 1, whatever that means.
Yeah. So...
Although I would love to have seen an end edit of the party room. Because you're not meant to do that either. That's not necessarily a win in the sense of, it's just as cramped. I mean, it's just kind of a dorm at that point rather than a hallway dorm. It's better in a sense, but I wouldn't call that a huge improvement, especially if they are the size of a normal Enterprise D or what's called Boimler's room, Lieutenant room. That's not huge. That's still going to be a very cramped space with 4 people, less than obviously the corridor, but that's not a huge upgrade. Although I guess privacy.
I like the wristband on her going from green to yellow to red. And when it was red, I'm like, is it going to go black next? Because she's really still screaming. And sure enough, it went black. So I called that in my head.
And they didn't ignore the pre-title. Has been taken by any ancient artifacts? Yes, it's worse than we thought. And I've always loved the conceit when the special Zen doctor figure gets pushed to the edge. I've always liked that as a trope.
Mm-hmm. Lights a cigarette.
Space cigarette, yeah. I like that. That was fun. And great choice of alien. I know we saw one for the medical chap in the episode where they have the ship of the damned taking them to another resort. I don't know if this is implying that these guys are actually sort of semi-medical people, because that's 2 out of 2 that have been in this role, which I liked.
Yeah. The ships, they're kind of interesting. One looks sort of like Daedalus-like, but not. But the Dove was kind of a cool design. So we got some ships, but it's nothing really to write home about.
I definitely recognize the front. There's a kind of BSG ship that's very similar, but that's just more the curves. But apart from that, a truly original ship. I did some digging to see if I could find a ship that's based on. No, that looks original to me.
And the Cerritos looked beautiful in this episode. When it was in warp at the beginning, and coming out of warp, and even when they zoom in on the close-up of the underside of the hull and you see the glint off of the windows, it looked spectacular in this episode. So that was nice.
And again, the genius line that obviously this is the sort of line we would do. Captain, there's asteroids incoming. Shall I fire full phasers?
No, Mr. Worf.
No. What do you mean? Do you have a thing for that? No. No fun for you. No fun. That's good. It's very logical. It's very, Yeah.
Well, that very much reminded me of a Worf scene where he's like, should I shoot it? And he's like, no. How many times has Worf been told no for that? So that was great. Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. A really gentle romp. Didn't go as far as it could have, but it went far enough for me. Definitely not one of those you're going to remember too much of, but not one that so many small character beats happened that it evolves everybody, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, but honestly, just kind of a meh episode for me. So that's kind of where I stand with that. But guys, this is your chance to tell us what you think. Well, one of your chances to tell us what you think. Comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please send us super thanks. We'd appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribed and notified so you don't miss any of our live content where you can actually chime in live to tell us your thoughts. And, those are always fun. That'll be later today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be there or be square.
Just don't get trapped in a deflected dish, because that might be an issue. Might be fun for the first couple of minutes, but you'll get dizzy and throw up. Or support us directly if you can via Patreon, which is monthly. Join the channel, which is monthly. Super Chat, which is one time or many times. That's up to you. Or Super Thanks, which is Super Chat, just on any video and any library of content we've done. Oh my god, it's great if you can help. Or PayPal at trekyards@hotmail.com. That goes towards show costs, cameras, etc. And so just buy new microphones. That's that. So that would help. Or just, check out our videos. We appreciate it.
That's right. So until next time, guys, he is Commander Cockins.
He's got a Freddy.
I'm going to go take a look at those room recognition forms now.
I'm going to go relax. We'll do one subplot each, okay? Cool. Bye.
Oh.